To be honored here at the Tradition, what did it mean to you to receive that news and know you'd have a night like this here in Boston?
Well, it's wonderful because the Sports Museum is a collection of all the great things that's happened in sports in the city. And you know and I know there's been some incredible days, whether it's on the field, whether it's on the ice, or in the arena here. So it means a lot. It really does. To be with a lot of the great players that have played in the past, contributed to the sports scene here, and quite frankly, folks like yourself, who's telling this story, who's helping tell the story of the great sports city that this is. So it means a lot. I'm honored, quite frankly.
You can't tell the story of Boston and its sports city without the Celtics, and you were a key piece in 1981 to bring that title, even after Larry Bird was drafted a few years earlier. What did it mean? What makes it stand out? What makes that championship so significant to you?
Well, you know, you had the great play in Larry. Larry was the ultimate leader, and we all know that. But it meant a lot because you were fighting against the Lakers, and Larry and Magic had come out, really become saviors of the NBA. It was unmarketable, and they began to turn that around, and Larry was driven. He was absolutely driven, and he wanted to make sure that every player on the team was involved in the process. Larry could have scored 40 points a game. I'm convinced of that. If he wanted to average 40 points, Larry Bird is one guy could have done it. But he wouldn't do that. He made sure that everybody got involved in the process, and he was able to bring championships here. I retired 1 year before they got the '86 championship, and when I came to practice one day, he said, "We figured out what was wrong with the team. We got rid of you and Maxwell." So it's good.
And now your career wasn't a straight line to get to the NBA and get to the Celtics. It took you around the world.
Yeah.
What was it like to find your footing here in this city, and what does it mean to you all these years to come back?
Well, I used to tell the players when I was running the organization that it's ironic that I'm now running the organization because Boston was one of the teams that cut me. As a matter of fact, Red Auerbach is the one that sent me to Israel to play. So I went from Israel to St. Louis to Detroit and eventually got to where I wanted to be because growing up as a kid, I was a Celtics fan. And the interesting thing about that is where I lived in North Carolina, everybody was 76ers fans. And to be a Celtics fan, I realized that there was something special about what these guys did. The Kuz and Havlicek and Russell, those guys, they figured out a way to get it done. No matter what the game score was, they were eventually going to rise to the top. And I wanted to be a part of something like that. And so to get a chance to come here and be a part of that, there's nothing like that. My wife, when I told her that I had, back then, that I had a chance to go with the Knicks for more money, and I told her how much more it was back then, which is minuscule what it's compared to now, she thought you went to the same school. You mean you can't count? but I was willing to do that, come for less money here, because I wanted to be a Celtic. And when I look back in retrospect, in hindsight, I made the right decision. It's been wonderful.
Right decision for sure, and you've won 2 NBA titles here. What do you see about this current team, led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that has those hints of a team that can get over the hump and win a Larry O'Brien trophy?
George, this has been a fun team to watch. I stayed away from it for a while. As a matter of fact, I didn't even watch it that much when Paul Pierce and KG was here. I was doing other things. I'm back now. I'm watching these guys. I'm looking at some of the intricacies of what they are doing. I'm watching how they play defense, how they cover for one another. I'm looking at, you know, guys play into the right person at the right time. Marcus Smart is a leader on the defensive end. He just really is. He's a tough kid. I'm looking at Jaylen. Jaylen is getting it done. I mean, he's really getting it done. And then you got Tatum, who's also at that level that Jason and Jaylen are. So collectively, they don't get in each other's way. And I think the coaching staff has given them a chance to do what they need to do. And so it's a fun team to watch. You've got to be a Celtics fan when you watch this team now.
ML Carr, 2-time NBA champion in the 80s. We can still see that Boston and the Celtics mean so much to you today. Thank you, and congrats on the honor, sir.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.